Hola, ¿qué tal, mi gente brava? Welcome back with our boys of Santos Bravos. Still, I feel like with their newest song, Kawasaki, they're already having like so much promo for it. It's like been back to back to back, which is exciting because it gives us a little break from 0%. It gives us obviously new content to take in and pour over and just enjoy while we wait for whatever is next. I know that our favorite Alejandro Spoileroo already said something about March and the number 6. Dijo que no era marzo 6, but he said March and the number 6. So who knows? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if maybe if they would drop like another single, just something to give them like 3 songs to have while they're on their little festival tour is what I'm calling it, because obviously they're going to be, I think there's like 4 or 5 festivals that they're going to be a part of, so obviously they might need like more than 2 songs to perform, unless they perform a cover that they did during the competition show. But who knows? I think like if they would have 3 singles, that would be like enough. But at the same time, we had like 3 months of 0%, so I don't think it would be rushing another song. I think it would be rushing it if they added another song. They wouldn't be giving Kawasaki enough promo because it hasn't even been a month. Also, I think it might just be like, I don't think it's going to be another song, to be honest. It might be like another appearance or another, I don't know. Or maybe that's when they're going to announce the fandom name. Maybe, I don't know. The only reason I say that is because going back to the fact that they're a group from Hive, and like I've mentioned in other videos, Hive likes to stagger their groups with having like promo and music coming out. I think Cordis already mentioned that they're gonna have new music coming out in April. I think, I can't remember if TXT, I know TXT is currently doing like a lot of promo for their anniversary that they're going to be doing, but the big one that's coming in 3 weeks literally is the BTS comeback. So there is no way that any other Hive group is going to have anything. Maybe early March, but that would only give them like 3 weeks of promo. Definitely not late March, because literally from end of March to probably a couple weeks is going to be mostly first week of March onward is going to be BTS focused. There's going to be so much promo dropping for BTS only to lead up to their comeback on the 20th. Obviously, I don't know if you guys are aware, they're going to have like their concert special streaming on Netflix, which is the first time they ever do that for any Korean artist that I know, like, and any artist that I know of, like a live stream of a concert. And it's going to be a huge event. So I don't think Hive would drop any new music for any new artist and have it be overshadowed by the BTS of it all. You know, how huge that comeback is going to be, and it's like everybody's talking about it. So I think that the March and the 6th, I don't know what the 6th is, but I think that the March thing for Santos Bravos, maybe it's related to the fandom name, or maybe it might be when they drop the news that they're gonna have like another single coming, and then just milk that for a little bit without actually dropping the music until April. But then again, like I said, Cordis is dropping music in April, so I don't know. But I would be very surprised if they just randomly drop a new song and kind of kill the promo for Kawasaki so soon. So those are my thoughts. But anyways, the reason we're here is because I'm finally gonna get to watch the performance on Premio Lo Nuestro. I heard they killed it. First of all, I want to talk about their outfits in the Magenta carpet. Those boots that they were all wearing, it was like different types of leather. Some were like chrome, so it was like super shiny, and some were like more matte, so they weren't as shiny. They were the cuntiest boots I've ever seen. The fact they were like thigh high with the zipper up on the front, and like with the different, I love how they gave them each their own kind of style, but they tied them in together with the colors, because Alejandro and Drew were both wearing red. Drew's was more like an overcoat. Alejandro was more like a long suit jacket. And then Kawe had like the gray, I think it was like a gray suit jacket. Our boy Kenneth, he was in black. and then Gavi was like with a kind of beige trench coat. So like the gray and the beige kind of offset each other, and also the within like each outfits, like the shirts and stuff, it kind of tied into each other, the other members, so it looked like a cohesive unit. But the individual colors and the individual like sizes of the jackets gave them a little, each one their own kind of style. But I gotta say, my boy Alejandro, I love my boy Alejandro. I loved his styling with his hair. But the guy that took it for me for that night with the styling was our boy Drew. He looked so good. He was like in his comfort zone, like fashionista. I love that he had like the, underneath he had like the black kind of like with the hoodie. Once he put that black hoodie up, and the contrast it did with his platinum hair, perfection, perfection. It looks so, he looked so good. And even when he was doing this poses, he was in his element. Mr. Fashionista was in his element. So I love that whole look on them. I love that they got the recognition that they deserved. Even just being, you know, nominated for Breakthrough Artist Male, which we knew they weren't going to win because it was fan voted, and obviously our fandom is not that big yet to go against the other fandoms. But the fact they were even nominated and put up there with those other artists, and the fact they got to perform, which is why we're here. I'm gonna watch the performance for the first time. I found a recording which hasn't been taken down, so I'm trusting that this video won't get copyright struck, and I'll be able to leave it up. So hopefully, let's hope. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the boys singing Kawasaki for their first live performance of Kawasaki. Not only that, the first live performance in front of other people in the industry in a broadcast special for El Canal de las Estrellas. Ale. The mic is on. Cabe? The mics are on. Como Kawasaki. Take it kind of. Drew, they're killing the choreo. And you can hear the crowd. Hey, Gabby. Ooh. And the live band. Kawe and Drew with the Portuguese. The note changes, the key changes. And you can hear Kawe's vibrato. Let's go. The harmonies. Yes, Kawe. Yes. Kawe said my mic is on. I love you could clearly hear the mics are on. They were able to pull off the choreo, which I had seen clips of them and obviously interviews afterwards. Where they mentioned that they had been doing a lot of training, running in the treadmill while singing, which is what a lot of the artists do nowadays. Which is part of why I love that they're trained under the K-pop mentality, because that's what a lot of K-pop artists do, not just in HYBE, but like in other labels. They have them train singing on the treadmill because that helps them control their airflow, so that when they're in movement, their airflow maintains stable, and so they're able to actually sing, which is what they were able to do. They were able to do the choreo and like moving and doing the formation changes, and their vocals did not crack. They were on key each time. But not only that, I love that for the live version, they did like a little like a couple of little tweaks to the vocal. It was more obvious towards the end in Kawa's part, which obviously he pulled off because he knows his vocals back and forth. He knows what he can do. He wasn't going to throw him off. But he goes like, Como tú me bailas, do you love me? He like changed the tempo and he changed the key. Because obviously the original is, do you love me? Just do you love me? But he went like, do you love me? And then at the end, the run with the Kawasaki. Yeah. Literally, these boys, you could tell the mics were on because you could hear like the little pauses and like a little bit of their breaths. But most of all, I feel like you could tell the mics were on because you could hear the how like movements were reflecting on the mics, and also like when they were hitting their steps, you kind of hear it. They didn't sound like out of breath or anything, but those slight little key changes obviously made it more obvious that there was their way of saying like my mic is on. But literally, these boys have come such a long way. They sang it just like the recording. So this proves that they can sing live. They're not just studio artists that they're only good in the booth because you can tweak some stuff and their voices sound amazing. They sound just as good live. Which we kind of also saw, if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the live with Auntie, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I had seen some discourse regarding Kenneth. I had seen a lot of online, and somebody also commented that there was like he dropped something. I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if he did drop something. I know that there was a part in the choreo that he did at Match Kawe. He did that kind of like knee slide on the floor and turned around. What I saw the discourse of is that he dropped his earpiece or his in-ear fell off and he went down to grab it, which is incorrect. Because if you guys notice, they have headsets on. So the way the headsets, because they don't have handheld mics, the way the headsets work, it's like the mic piece is here. It's usually taped to their cheek so it doesn't like bounce as much and it doesn't change the volume. But part of that is also the mic piece goes here. It's kind of like these. So the earpiece goes on one and the other earpiece goes on the other. However, it's around their neck. It's cabled on. So if you look at the back of any of the performers that have earpieces, which helps them not only like listen to the music, but also listen to themselves so they can know when they're on tempo and when it's their turn, it's wired. So, because these wires, they lay down to the little like mic pack where the cable's like plugged into the mic pack, which is clipped into their backs. So in order for the whole earpiece to fall to the floor, Kenneth would have had to have dropped the whole mic pack and it would have taken the microphone and like off of both ears. Now what I did notice is when he stood back up, he went like this and like this. So what did happen is it did fall off of his ear. It fell off of his ear, but it landed on his shoulder and he just put it back on. So he didn't drop his earpiece because they're wired. I don't know if he dropped something on the floor and he went down to pick it up. It didn't look like, even it couldn't have been the mic pack because since it's wired to their earpieces, the line can't be super long. The only thing that can happen, the line can get disconnected. Like, I don't know if you guys ever have like iPods or anything like that. When you pull the cord, it gets disconnected. So that's one thing. But usually they don't make those lines super long because they just make it long enough so it's like it goes up their shirt, up their ears, so it doesn't obstruct with their movement. So I don't know if that was part of the choreo, Kenneth going down and doing that side sweep, if he improvised it, if Kawi forgot to do it, if they were supposed to do it together. I don't think, it doesn't look to me like he dropped anything and picked up anything, but it definitely was not his earpiece because there's no way, because his mic would have fallen off and it would have taken a long time for him to put it back on. It did pop out of his ear and he popped it back on, but it was, like I said, it's wired, so there's no way it would have fallen to the ground. It's not like earbuds. That's not how they work. But they killed it. Let me fix this. They killed it, like I said, perfection. Whether he dropped some, like maybe he dropped like an earring, maybe a piece of jewelry fell off, and he did that move to grab it, which is just shows how much practice he's had and how he's able to not get flustered when stuff like that happens, which, you know, it's amazing because obviously we know he has a little bit more experience being in the entertainment industry longer than everybody, but this also shows that they practice for what if scenarios, which is also something that Hive is really good at doing with their artists. They have them practice like, what if this happens, how would you handle it? So that when they're in the moment and it does happen, they're able to handle it, not just stand there and like stop singing and just completely stop their performance. But they killed it. Our boys did amazing. The mics were on, the moves were in sync. You could hear the crowd cheering, which is great because obviously I know some of the fans got to go if you were able to get tickets to go, but a lot of the people that were there were just like other influencers or just regular people that got to see them for the first time. So I have seen like other posts of people that didn't know who they were and they're like, oh my gosh, this group is actually killing it. So that's good. Also, I was a little like, my little Santos Bravos, mis bravitos, they got emotional. Like the behind the scenes videos when they got off stage and Gabi was crying because he was so moved by the whole experience and just being there, because he had mentioned that he's gone to that arena for like sporting events and now he's on the stage performing in front of people. So, oh, they did so well. I'm so happy for them. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the remix that came out. Obviously, a lot of, hopefully everybody saw it live, but the live they did with N Team, that was the most hilarious joint live I have ever seen. I loved every minute of it. First of all, the Wi-Fi, I don't know if it was Santos Bravos, I don't know if it was N Team, but it kept freezing and I was like, oh my god, they can't communicate, they don't know what's happening. I love that it turned into a little session of like, let's teach each other languages, how to say this, how to say that. Gabi, Maki, and Gabi and Nico, like Nico and Maki, I fell in love with Gabi and Kenneth, especially Gabi with his bailando. I love that. Like Maki was not, like, couldn't take his eyes off of him. And when they called Kenneth Kawaii and Kenneth was like, they love that. They love that. I also appreciate both on both ends. On the Santos Bravos side, the Drew was like translating the Spanish into English for Ant Team, and then on the Ant Team side, Maki was translating for Yuma and Joe, because I love those boys. The fact that they didn't know what was going on, they were just like sitting there like smiling, and then we get the translation, they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. I love that they had that kind of like bonding moment between Maki and Drew, because they were both the translators for their team. And Drew, the fact that Drew kept thinking of questions to ask them just to keep the conversation flowing and so it wouldn't feel so like stilted and so like it was forced, because we know it's not forced. It was just the fact of like, what do we talk about? Let's talk about the song, but let's also get to know a little bit about each other. So I love that live. If you guys didn't get a chance to see it, please go check it out on Weverse. It is the most hilarious thing I have ever seen between these two groups. So chaotic. I hope they have a group chat going and they do get to meet in person and actually perform the song together someday. Let's hope. What else did I want to talk about? I think that was it. I did notice, and I don't know if you guys have seen on socials, this remix has actually gotten the boys more exposure, because I'm seeing more fans from like Asia posting doing the challenge, and like Asian artists doing the challenge. I've seen like a couple of people from like, I think it was Taiwan, posting reaction videos of watching like the music video, the Kawasaki remix with Ant Team. I'm also seeing a lot of the Ant Team fans, Lune, the ones that like love to post dance covers, doing the Kawasaki challenge. So that's amazing. That's literally what this collaboration was supposed to do. Was supposed to bring Santos Bravos exposure to a different market, a different set of people, a different set of fans. Because all you need to do is have that exposure. Have somebody like say, listen to this song. Okay, I'll listen to it because I like your music, so I trust your taste. And then if you listen to it and if you like it, awesome. If you don't, that's fine, but at least you were exposed to it, you know? So I am noticing a lot of the Lune are liking the collab and making them like more aware of Santos Bravos. I wish there was more music for them to kind of look at, to experience them more. And at the same time, I'm also seeing that some Santos Bravos fans are getting introduced to Team, which is amazing because that group is so talented. Looks, those 9 guys are so talented vocally and dance wise. They blow my mind. Like their dance ability, especially like the main dancers, but just like their charisma and their performance, the way they perform when they're on stage. So if you guys get a chance to look at some of their live performance videos, please do so. You won't be disappointed. Anyways, I don't know what is next for us except whatever is going to happen in March with the number 6. Hopefully, I don't even know what to think. Hopefully we'll finally have like our fan name, because they teased about us having our fan name soon. So what are we calling ourselves? And please don't let it be something crazy. But anyways, let me know what you guys' favorite parts of the Premio Lo Nuestro performance are. If any of you guys are going to go to the different festivals that they're going to be attending, have a blast. Take some footage so I can live through you. And I will see you next time.